Welcome to the Common Man Football Show. My name is James Coburn, and today's episode, we're talking about the Detroit Lions versus Tampa Bay Buccaneers Week 14 matchup based on analytics. Each week, I collect all of the current 2017 NFL team data in order to analyze and project potential NFL performance. And since it's a weekly collection, there's always going to be some variation between various variables. However, there's always going to be little nuggets of truth that could become bigger nuggets of truth as the season continues. So stick around as I analyze each week's matchups based on analytics. And if you are new to the channel, all terms and definitions will be in the description. So, starting with this matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When you look at the NFL stat basic comparison data, and basic comparison data essentially is looking at how the offense is doing, how the defense is doing, and of course how the special teams is doing based on the overall data and overall framework essentially. And based on all that information, the Detroit Lions are pretty decently favored in this game. So let's get into some reasons why. So first off, offensively speaking, the main area where the Lions are better than the Buccaneers, or like the main advantage they have, is with offensive score percentage. The Lions are just able to kind of put up more points on offense compared to what the Bucs have been able to do. So that's a big advantage, because if you have an offense that's able to put up points, it can kind of mitigate some of the other issues you might have as an offense. Because don't get me wrong, the Buccaneers have a better turnover ratio, so the Buccaneers don't turn the football over as much as the Lions have this year. The Buccaneers also have better sack allowance. The Buccaneers don't allow as many sacks as the Lions do, which is another sort of interesting kind of thing to think about in this game. However, the fact that the Lions are just able to put up more points is a big advantage for the Lions. Like it's a big reason why they're favored in this game. And on top of that, defensively speaking, the Lions have the better defense when it comes to defensive offensive score percentage. The Lions also typically get more sacks and more interceptions. The Bucs do create more turnovers, but the big things to consider, I mean, the main numbers to really focus in on and pay attention to when it comes to data from a macro level is the amount of points you put up on offense and the amount of points you don't allow on defense. Those are the two major statistics that matter to winning football games. It's kind of common sense. The more points you score and the better your defense is at preventing points, the more games you are going to win. But that's as simple as it gets, guys. The other stuff is just kind of background noise, essentially. But it's definitely good to kind of think about matchups when you look at the other sort of data. Now, when you get to special teams data, the Lions are favored in punt return yardage. The Bucs are favored in kick return yardage. Defensive punt return yardage favors the Bucs. Defensive punt return yardage favors the Bucs. Defensive kick return yardage favors the Lions. And a big thing to consider in this game is the field goal percentage, because the main special teams metric that I usually tell you guys to pay attention to the most is that field goal percentage. So that's definitely something you want to keep track of and think of for the most part. And on top of that, extra point percentage is another big one. And, of course, punting average. All those areas are major areas to consider and think about when it comes to the Detroit Lions. But overall, just to kind of wrap all this stuff up, the Lions are better on offense because of the ability to put up more points. They're also better on defense because they can prevent more points. And special teams-wise, they pretty much have major advantages in almost every single special team statistic, which is another big reason why the Lions are favored in this game. Now, when you get to some micro matchups, so now we're looking at down and distance data, situational football, as Bill Belichick likes to put it. When you look at the Lions offense versus the Bucs defense, when it comes to completion percentage data, the Lions are favored on second and third down. So this is going to be a massive advantage for the Lions in this game. They're going to be able to generate a lot of positive plays, which ultimately could kind of help them out the most on offense. I mean, it's a big reason why they're successful on offense is because they have that high completion percentage on second and third down. And then, of course, when you get to the Bucs offense versus the Lions defense when it comes to completion percentage, it's a flip the script type of situation. The Lions are favored on second and third down. The Buccaneers continue to have this issue on offense where they are able to convert first downs into first down pretty well, but not so much on second and third down. So those are the kind of the big breakdowns with the Buccaneers offense. So if any of you guys are asking, like, why do the Bucs do what they do, or why is there issues here, this is why. You know, like, this is the big reason why there's breakdowns in their offense, is because of second down and third down situations. Then, of course, you get to rushing downs. So this is first down conversion rate with the run. This has nothing to do with how many yards you get on offense with the run. It has nothing to do with explosive plays. It has everything to do with the ability to get first downs with the run in various downs and distances. That's really what it comes down to. When you look at all this data, the Buccaneers are favored on first, second, and third down in terms of their defense. And I think this is going to be something where the Buccaneers should be able to stifle the Lions' offense because of their overall rush defense. So I think this is kind of a good thing for the Bucs, at least if you want to stop the run. Then you get to the Buccaneers' offense versus the Lions' defense when it comes to rushing yards. And in this area, the Bucs are favored on first, second, and third down. The Lions' defense against the run is just not good. They've been massively... I mean, right now, the Lions have the worst rushing defense on first down and the worst rushing defense on second down in the NFL. That's how bad it is. So this is definitely an area where I think there's a lot of breakdowns and a lot of issues that they're going to need to shore up if they want to get better as a whole. And then, of course, you get to passing down. So this is the Lions passing offense versus the Buccaneers passing defense. In this particular area, the Lions are favored on first, second, and third down. So I definitely think the Lions, of course, are going to have success passing the football against the Buccaneers defense. Then, of course, you look at the Buccaneers offense versus the Lions defense, where the Buccaneers are favored on first, second, and third down as well. So this is the continual theme. The Buccaneers passing offense is really not that bad. It's just the turnovers and the miscommunication. Like, there's just a lot of things wrong with it. But they definitely have some things where they have shown a lot of success, and this is one of them. Then, of course, you get to sack rate between the Lions offense and the Buccaneers defense. Both these teams are pretty pitiful in that regard. The Lions are terrible at preventing sacks, and the Buccaneers are terrible at generating sacks. So this is definitely an area where I would say it's kind of evenly matched. I think the big down and distance to kind of pay attention to is probably third down. The Lions have the worst third down sack offense in terms of allowing sacks. Like, they allow more sacks in the NFL on third down than anybody else. And on top of that, the Buccaneers are the worst team in terms of generating sacks on third down. So definitely an even kind of matchup between both these teams when you look at it from that perspective. Then, of course, you look at sack rate between the Buccaneers offense and the Lions defense. In this particular area, the Buccaneers are favored on first and second down. Then you get to the Lions offense versus the Buccaneers defense when it comes to interceptions. And in this area, the Buccaneers are favored on second and third down. And then finally, you get to the Buccaneers offense versus the Lions defense, where the Lions are favored on first and second down, based on all the data and other sort of things. So overall, what are my general feelings about this game? Well, I think it's a Lions victory. I think offensively speaking, the Lions have it where it counts. I think defensively speaking, the Lions also have it where it counts. I think special teams-wise, the Lions have it where it counts. I think the biggest weaknesses that the Lions have in terms of allowing sacks is not going to be as big of an issue because the Buccaneers don't generate a lot of sacks. So it's just one of those games where the Lions are not exactly a perfect team. They definitely have weaknesses, but the Buccaneers are a team that do not have the personnel, the players, whatever you want to, they don't have that stuff to kind of make things interesting. And as a result, I have to go Lions here. And of course, my name is James Coburn. You can find my other work at draftcoburn.wordpress.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at Geometrics. And if you like this content and you want more content like this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Share this video as well with anybody that you know. And I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.